Hello everybody, this is the Magic Man, the tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, coming back at you again with another video. Hello everybody, this is the Magic Man, the tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, coming back at you again with a quick video. This video should be quick, people. This is a video that I like doing. And it feels good to do it. I mean, most of the videos I do feel good, but I really feel good about this video because I have been talking about this relevant to Nadal. I've been telling people, and I've been calling those critics who say this that they stupid just from from the eye test, mean looking at Nadal play on non-clay surfaces, and from the stats, and that is that those people. Just because Nadal has won 12 French Opens, that don't mean that he ain't highly all around on the other surfaces and highly efficient and a champion, multiple championships, multiple Grand Slam titles he's won on other surfaces. So those people who say, well, because Nadal is got 12 French Opens, he's not really all around or highly all around on the other surfaces and highly efficient. And I already call those people stupid. I've done a couple videos just clamping down on that and saying how silly that is. And Nadal has backed it up. I even told people that it was Nadal I think I proved it wrong, and then nobody really came back after I said that. To prove how all around Nadal was, ask Djokovic. It was Djokovic-Nadal rivalry that kept tennis going. I mean, Federer was in and out between 2011 and 2016. I mean, but it was really, that was the Nadal versus Djokovic rivalry between that time. Not Federer versus Nadal or Federer versus Djokovic. It was Nadal that was in all those Grand Slam finals. Y'all remember when it was just Nadal versus Djokovic in the Australian Open final, Nadal versus Djokovic in the French Open final, Nadal versus Djokovic in the Wimbledon final, Nadal versus Djokovic in the US Open final. And forget who won, but as long as Nadal was in the final. And remember, it was that way for like 3 consecutive years. So anybody with any common sense would know Nadal is he's more than just a French Open. And he's won on these other surfaces. So let's get to the title of the video. People, listen. If Nadal wins this, I thought about this a few days ago. If Nadal wins the U.S. Open, we know this is big. He would be he would have 19 majors. That's no new news. Big news, but nothing new. He'll be one just behind Federer. But that's not the purpose of the video, people, because everybody knows that. We waiting to see if that can happen. Can Nadal get the 19 just one behind Federer? And we know Nadal fans are praying for that and hoping for that. But people, here's another stat right here. This is the purpose of the video. People, if Nadal wins the U.S. Open, people, he will have 4 U.S. Opens. Okay, people, that would totally, even though I've already called these people idiots that say Nadal is not highly all around, Nadal he would totally, once and for all, kill that argument that he's not highly all around on all surfaces, hard court, grass, everything. And anybody that would say that, then I won't even make a video against it. I don't think nobody's that stupid. Listen, there are some people probably that stupid, but I don't even think nobody's that stupid. If Nadal get 4 U.S. Opens to come out and say, well, Nadal, he's just really just a clay quarter. Okay, but people, here's what's amazing about that 4. People, the 3 players that got the most U.S. Opens in the Open era, people, and they tied, they all got 5. And if Federer got 5 consecutive, but the other ones got 5 too. It's Jimmy Connors, Pete Sampras, my boy, the great Pete Sampras. Y'all know Pete Sampras is one of my favorite players. And Roger Federer. So that means if Nadal wins the U.S. Open this coming Sunday, that means that he just won behind Federer, who we know. So listen, we know Federer is see right now. I was finna say we know Federer is way more all around on the other surfaces than Nadal. See, I can't even say way more now. I'm gonna say Federer is a little more all around. You understand what I just said? Cause Nadal would say, wait a minute, what you mean? Federer only got 5 U.S. Opens. I got 4 if he wins Sunday. Pete Sampras, the great Pete Sampras, with the serving volley on the hard court, he only got 5. I mean, I know that's a lot, but Nadal wins Sunday. He said, I'm just one behind Sampras. What do y'all mean? I'm just good on clay. Are you guys crazy? Magic Man is right. If Nadal wins Sunday, he just won behind Jimmy Connors as far as the U.S. Open. People, y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying there. And people, even if he loses Sunday, say if he makes it to the final, that counts. Listen, when you're in the final of any major, that means that you are good at the surface. You were not good you was not as good on that day to beat your opponent who won the title that day or that slam that day. But you are definitely, if you were in the final of any tournament, that means that you are very good on that surface. You don't even have to win the tournament, okay? And historians do count how many times you was in the final. And Nadal, even before this, he's already been in multiple finals, okay, of non-clay surfaces. All right, now let me see if there's anything else. It was something else I wanted to say about this whole, God, man, I don't want to make another video. There was something else I wanted to say about Nadal winning this U.S. Open thing. Yeah, but that's the major thing there. That man, he would be so. Yeah, this is what I was going to say here. And this is interesting. I got to try to explain this right. Now, the Nadal fans that believe that Nadal is the GOAT, or even though I got Federer still arguably the GOAT, but we know Nadal's getting closer and closer. He's right there. People, here's one argument right here now. I'm gonna say this. This doesn't make Nadal the GOAT, but it definitely is a argument that can, as he wins more majors or becomes equal with Federer, if he can do that, or even surpass Federer, this could go in his favor somewhat. Okay, let me try to explain this, people. Now, people, y'all know I've said, I'm the only person that said this. Even the Nadal fans were sort of shocked that I said it, but Nadal fans was like, I know they said this because they didn't come back and comment against me. I said that Nadal, the last couple of years, okay, he's played better in the Wimbledon, okay, and he's played better in the Wimbledon. And even people, if you saw the way Nadal beat Cilic yesterday, the last set, if you came from another planet and somebody said Nadal, he's the best guy on clay, and you'll be like, well, wait a minute, but you trying to tell me the way he just beat Cilic that last set yesterday? Man, he looked like he's the best, or one of the best on the hard court too. I mean, I'm just saying. So I told people that if you looked at the way Nadal played the Wimbledon the last 2 years, Nadal played better, definitely in the early rounds. If you look at his early rounds of the Wimbledon this year and last year, it was better, I'm talking about level of play-wise, than the French Open. Now, he did go to another level when he beat Thiem in the French Open last year. But besides the final of the French Open where Nadal played at top level, people, he played better at the Wimbledon in the earlier rounds than in the earlier rounds of the French Open. So basically what I'm saying is that Nadal's non-clay level of play has really, it's really up there. Now, here's another thing. Now, I would have to go back and look at stats on this, but I'm going to just try to use the eye test people. Now, let me get back to the argument I was saying that Nadal fans who say, well, Nadal, he's close to the GOAT, or he's the GOAT for this reason. Let me tell you an argument they could use as Nadal tries to surpass Federer. People, I was thinking this. Now, I'm not sure about this. I probably should think about this more. Okay, based on what I just said, basically what I just said is that Nadal at times look just as good on the hard court as he does on the clay. And Nadal at times, definitely the last 2 years, look even better sometimes on the grass than he looks on clay. Now, you may say, well, Magic Man, okay, we get that sometime, but what are you trying to say? People, it could be this here. Is it that Nadal is so good on clay? Now, of course, we know how good he is. Or is it that the other people, like Federer, even Djokovic, they are so good on the other surfaces, but their other surfaces is not up to their game on clay is not quite equivalent to their game on the non-clay surfaces. Now, I can definitely say that for Federer. Now, Djokovic, I can't say I've seen Djokovic's level of play on clay. I've seen Djokovic crush the Dow on clay. So somebody can say at times Djokovic's clay game is just as good as his hard court game. But we can say this though, Djokovic damn sure hasn't won as many French Opens as he's won Australian Opens, Wimbledon's, and US Opens. So you may say, okay, Magic Man, keep talking. What are you trying to say about Nadal though? And Nadal fans say, what are you trying to say, Magic Man? We think we know what you're trying to say. People, what I'm trying to say is this here. Nadal's clay efficiency, or his ability or level or play on clay, is closer to his efficiency and level of play on the non-clay surfaces than, say, like Federer's level of play on grass and hard court is to the clay surfaces. Y'all understand what I just said? It was sort of hard for me to explain that. And that right there is a great thing that Dow got. That means that, like I just said before, if somebody, let me use this analogy. If a person came from another planet, now I know when you look at like the 20 majors Federer got, and of course there's 4 majors. Okay, you can order there's 3 surfaces, even though the Australian Open surface is a different speed than the US Open surface in different years. Okay, but you could argue that, like, if you came from another planet and you looked at, okay, Federer stats, okay, just on the surface, it looked like Federer is more all around than Nadal, even if you say slightly, and I would still give Federer that. But dude, you know, but people, you know what? An extraterrestrial that comes from another planet, if they watch the way Nadal beat Chilich at the US Open, they could say that Nadal's performances on the hard court and Nadal's performances, now I'm getting to it now, let me keep going, I got it now, and Nadal's performances on the clay are almost equal or close at times. But somebody could argue this here. If you watch Federer at his best on the grass, or even at Indian Wells hard court, or Australian Open hard court, or US Open hard court, it's nowhere near as close to Federer's top level at the French Open or on a clay surface. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So somebody could argue with that analogy there that Nadal in some ways is just as all around as Federer. Okay? All right? And like I said before, I've seen Djokovic now play equally. But if somebody say as far as wins though, Djokovic, look at that. He only got one French Open. Why? Yeah, he got all these other titles. So like I said before, somebody could say, extraterrestrial, using the eye test now, they can say it seems that Nadal, we can go get yesterday, the way he beat Chilich, that last set, his performance in that last set against Chilich looked just as good as if he would have beat Chilich at the French Open. Okay, people, y'all get what I just said? Took me a sort of long time to get around to that, people. Okay, so this will be, if Nadal wins his 4th U.S. Open, he would shut all critics up. Anybody want to say he's just a clay courter, or he's not quite as good on other surfaces. I hope I would never ever hear that again. Tennis preacher, prophet, and the psychic. Signing off. Have a good one. This is the magic man, the tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, coming back at you again with another video.